This is tutorial 5, which follows on from tutorial 4 where we added the text to the music page. We're now going to add a small table to show some musical qualifications, and the text that you can use in the table is on the same document as the text that we put on the page before. So down here there's music qualifications, and there's a piano grade 4 merit, a piano grade 3 pass, and guitar grade 2 merit. I'm going to use a small table to set this out. Tables are a really clear way of setting out information like this, and you'll get marks for using tables in your site. I'm going to use 4 rows. You can see there's 4 lines of information. One is headings. I'm going to split the instrument and the qualification out, so 2 columns. So let's make the table. So if I go to Web Plus, over here, this one here is the table tool. I'm going to draw in a small table. I said 4 rows and 2 columns. If you want to explore the different styles of table, you're very welcome to. I'm just going to say OK. And this basic table, when you put it in, has no borders. So it's got the grid lines showing up, but they're not going to show on the preview. I'll show you that in a minute. I'm going to start putting the text across. Now, I'm going to put instrument in here, which wasn't on the Word document. And in here, I'm going to put qualifications. If you want to copy words, you can. And then I had piano grade 4 merit, so copy piano. If you'd rather type, you can. And then I had piano grade 3 pass. So let's put those across. And guitar grade 2 pass. Oh, grade 2 merit, sorry. Now you'll notice that copying and pasting and typing, I've got different fonts in here. I don't know if you can see. This font is different to this one. That one is Cambria and that one is Verdana. So let's highlight the whole table and make it Verdana for now. Now, as I said, those lines are not going to preview at the moment. They're just showing the layout on the page. If I go to preview site, and you can choose which internet browser you want to preview in. Let's have a look. It's set out as a grid. You can see the 2 columns and the 4 rows, but there's no lines showing. Now sometimes that's very useful if you want to set pictures out in a grid, for example, and you don't want the borders or the lines to show. But in this case I would like the lines to show. So let's go back to Web Plus. Now I've fiddled around with this quite a lot. There is a line tool up here that you can try out, but I found it caused a few problems with the text. So if you select the table, this way is another way of doing it. If you go to table and cell properties, you can choose to have lines around all the cells, and then you can go to line style and you can choose a colour there, and it should again show you your main colour scheme colours here. So I'm going to choose the grey, and you can even try choose line thickness and style and things in here. Say OK. So now I've got grey lines around my table, and if I preview, that should now look slightly different. You can see the lines. It still doesn't look brilliant, so let's see if we can improve how it looks a little bit. I might want to sort of change the height of some of these, so I can use the mouse between the rows and the columns to change the heights of things. So let's change the heights of the rows. Now you can decide on how you're going to make this look good. Obviously you'd want more things on this page, so you don't have to worry if it gets a bit small, because we could put all sorts of things on here. We can maybe have a video of playing of one of the shows. We'll see if we can add that next. But let's just make this table look good. So if we highlight the heading row, maybe that would be nice to have a fill colour. And you could choose a fill from the colour scheme. And then just think about whether you want the font to be a bit bigger, perhaps in the heading row. Just one size bigger might look good. Might just make that information stand out. Let's now see how this is previewing. So you can see when you preview, things like the line around the text box don't show up, but because we put the grid lines on here, they are now showing, and that font, that fill colour sort of matches the fact I'm using the green in the headings. It's a slightly different green, so you might want to be even more consistent and match it exactly to your headings. That might work well. Let's see if we can do that. think I went for that sort of slightly brighter green. That isn't the nicest colour, so perhaps that needs a bit more work, but basically I'm starting to make all the different pages tie together. So try to get to that point where you've added a table and that you're using some colours and some lines and borders and things that match the rest of the site that you've been making here.